You're storing fat and you don't even know why? You think it's just calories? Nah, it's hormones. Two hormones in particular are silently working against you: estrogen and cortisol. Now, before you freak out and think, wait, I thought estrogen was only for women, or isn't cortisol just a stress hormone? Relax. These hormones are vital for survival, but in the modern world, they've gone rogue. In today's video, I'm breaking down exactly how estrogen and cortisol are silently sabotaging your physique, and more importantly, how to fight back. So stick around to the end because I'm giving you actual science-backed solutions you can use right now to flip the script on your hormones and reclaim your body. If you're new to the channel, welcome to Testosterone Growth, where we take a no BS science-driven look at optimizing hormones naturally. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. Let's start with estrogen. Now, a lot of guys hear the word estrogen and immediately think feminine, bad, or something I shouldn't have. But that's not the full picture. Estrogen isn't inherently bad. In fact, you need it. In the right balance, estrogen plays a vital role in brain function, bone density, mood regulation, and even fat metabolism. In men, a healthy estrogen to testosterone ratio helps keep your joints lubricated, your brain sharp, and yes, even your libido firing on all cylinders. But here's where it goes off the rails. We are living in an estrogen dominant world, and I don't mean figuratively, I mean literally. Your environment is loaded with fake estrogens, also known as xenoestrogens, and they're constantly seeping into your body through what you eat, drink, breathe, and touch. Think about it. The water you drink, the food you eat, the receipts you handle, the shampoo you wash with, the plastic container you microwaved your leftovers in, they all contain or leach synthetic estrogenic compounds. These include BPA, phthalates, parabens, and glyphosate, and they're everywhere. Plastics, food, packaging, tap water, cleaning supplies, deodorants, even your strawberries. It's all a hormonal minefield. These xenoestrogens are molecularly similar to your body's natural estrogen. They mimic it, but in a chaotic, unregulated way. Your body can't tell the difference, so it all responds as if you're being flooded with real estrogen. And for men, that's a hormonal disaster. Here's what that looks like in real life. Fat storage skyrockets, especially in areas loaded with estrogen receptors like the lower chest and waistline. Your natural testosterone production plummets because of the negative feedback in the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. You can develop gynecomastia. That's right, man boobs, even if your overall body fat is moderate. Your face and body start to look soft, puffy, and inflamed. Not because of your diet alone, but because your hormones are all out of sync. Now here's the real kicker, and most guys don't know. Fat cells actually produce more estrogen, especially visceral fat around subcutaneous fat around the belly and chest. So once your estrogen starts creeping up and you begin gaining weight, that extra fat makes even more estrogen. That estrogen makes you gain more fat, and round we go. It becomes a vicious hormonal debt spiral. More fat, more estrogen, even more fat, even more estrogen, less testosterone, slower metabolism, more cravings, repeat. This feedback loop is why you can't seem to drop stubborn chest fat or those love handles, even if you're training hard and eating clean. It's not a lack of willpower, it's biology. That fat tissue is literally saturated with estrogen receptors, and your body treats it like prized storage space for hormonal imbalance. It wants to hold on to it. Worse still, many of the foods men are told are healthy, like soy, protein bars, low-fat yogurt, seed oils, and even some fitness supplements, are absolutely stacked with estrogen-mimicking compounds. It's no wonder so many guys are walking around with low energy, low libido, and soft physiques, even though they're putting in work at the gym. And it's not just physical. Estrogen imbalances impact your mental sharpness, your motivation, and your confidence. It's not in your head, it's in your hormones. This is the estrogen trap, and unless you actively defend yourself against it, your body will quietly slip into a state where fat loss feels impossible, testosterone tanks, and your masculinity gets diluted. One product, one meal, one exposure at a time. Let's get specific. Here's where these xenoestrogens are coming from. Plastic containers. Think microwaving food in plastic or drinking from cheap bottles. Non-organic produce sprayed with herbicides and pesticides that mimic estrogen. Soy products, especially processed soy with soy isoflavones, a plant-based estrogen mimic. Conventional meat and dairy, often packed with growth hormones like RBST. You might be thinking, alright, I'll just avoid soy, but that's not enough. Xenoestrogens are everywhere and they accumulate in your fat tissue. That's why this isn't just about what you eat, it's also about what you absorb, breathe in, and slather your skin in. The solution, what to eat instead. Now let's fix it. Step 1. Reduce exposure. Ditch the plastics, switch to glass or stainless steel. Buy organic where you can, especially with the dirty dozen fruits and vegetables, and skip processed soy at all costs. Step 2. Detox naturally with cruciferous vegetables. These are your secret weapon. Think broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale. These are rich in compounds like indole 3-carbinol and didenylmethane, DIM, which actively help your liver break down excess estrogen and flush it out of your system. If you're serious, look into a high quality DIM supplement, but start with food first. Load up with flavonoids like onions, garlic and parsley. These support your detox pathways and protect your testosterone from being aromatized into estrogen. Cortisol, the silent belly fat builder. Alright, let's shift gears and talk about another hormonal saboteur, cortisol, better known as the stress hormone. Just like estrogen, cortisol isn't inherently bad. In fact, it's essential. You need cortisol to wake up in the morning. It helps you focus, power through tough situations, handle pressure and survive real danger. It's part of your built-in fight or fight system. So when your ancestors heard a twig snap in the jungle, cortisol shot up, sharpening the senses and getting them ready to run or fight. The problem? We're not living in the jungle anymore. We're stuck in traffic, staring at bills, glued to doom scrolling news and juggling a million micro stressors every day. Your body doesn't know the difference. It thinks you're still being chased by a lion 24/7. So what does it do? It keeps pumping out cortisol non-stop. The issue isn't cortisol itself, it's chronic cortisol. When your cortisol is elevated all day, every day, your entire hormonal system starts to crumble. You burn out, your body starts making desperate decisions just to survive. And the side effects are brutal. You develop stubborn belly fat, the kind that won't budge no matter how clean you eat. Your muscle tissue breaks down because cortisol is catabolic. It breaks down proteins to fuel your stress response. Your body becomes insulin resistant, meaning you store more carbs as fat, especially around your midsection. You're hit with cravings, especially for sugar and salty junk, because your brain is screaming for fast fuel. And worst of all, your fat cells actually start to build more cortisol receptors, especially around the waist. Think about that. Your body starts recruiting more cortisol docking stations in your fat. That's like giving your fat cells a VIP all-access pass to every stressful moment in your day. It's your body literally saying, let's store more fat here, just in case things get worse. And it gets worse. The high cortisol state destroys your testosterone. When cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down. It's a hormonal tug of war. So the more stressed you are, the more fat you store and the less man you feel. You wake up tired, crash by mid-afternoon, and you feel unmotivated, even if you're sleeping okay and eating well. Now, picture the average guy. He's waking up late, slamming caffeine, skipping breakfast, stuck in traffic, sitting all day, checking stressful emails, eating lunch at his desk, scrolling on social media at night, sleeping poorly, and repeating that cycle for years. That's a perfect recipe for chronic cortisol. And unless you break the loop with movement, mindfulness, better sleep, and proper testosterone support, your body stays locked in fat storing, muscle eating, testosterone killing mood. This is why some men struggle to lose fat even in a calorie deficit, because when cortisol is high, your body goes into survival mode, not fat burning mode. It clings to fat, especially visceral belly fat, like its life depends on it. So no, you're not weak, you're not lazy, you're hormonally handcuffed, and cortisol is holding the key. How cortisol builds fat. Visceral fat. Studies show that chronic cortisol exposure redistributes fat to your visceral fat stores. That's the dangerous fat around your organs. That isn't just aesthetic, it's metabolic chaos. The belly fat you can't lose. It's loaded with cortisol receptors, and every time you stress out, that area gets the fat signal again and again. Even worse, cortisol matures baby fat cells, meaning those little fat cells that might have died off, they've now become full-grown fat hoarders. Cortisol also jacks up your blood sugar. Chronically high blood sugar, insulin resistance, cells can't absorb glucose, brain thinks you're starving, cravings and fat again. And in fact, that cortisol talks directly to your hypothalamus, your hunger control center, and what do you get? Stress, cortisol, brain saying we're starving, you eat more, you store more, repeat. How to lower cortisol. So how do we fix this? Step 1, sleep. No, really, poor sleep equals high cortisol. Aim for 7 to 9 hours and optimize sleep hygiene. Dark room, no screens an hour before bed, magnesium glycinate if needed, vitamin C. Yep, multiple studies show that taking 1,000 to 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C, especially post-workout, lowers cortisol levels and supports recovery. Bonus if you take a fat soluble form. Step 3, strategic stress management. You don't need to be a monk. Just 5 minutes of deep breathing, a cold shower or short walk in the sun helps massively. Apps like Headspace or Insight Timer can guide you through meditations that lower your stress hormones. There you have it. 2 of the biggest hormonal saboteurs of your fat loss, and the real reason why stubborn fat won't budge even if you're dieting and training hard. But now you've got the tools, lower xenoestrogens, support your liver, protect your testosterone and manage your cortisol. If this video hit home, do me a favour, smash the like button so more people see this, drop a comment below with your biggest takeaway, and don't forget to hit the subscribe for more weekly deep dives into testosterone, fat loss and hormone optimization, the natural way. This is Testosterone Growth, and I'll see you in the next one.